update your fans. What are you up to?
Well, I am finishing up my last semester at Columbia University. I'm majoring in math, and I'm currently applying to jobs in finance and in investment banking, as well as consulting. So if anyone wants to give me a job, that would be amazing.
You majored in math? Tim, you must be really smart.
I thought I was much better at math than I actually am. I really like math, and I'm really glad I did it, but when you go from being, the top 10 in the world in skating to being like the middle of the pack at Columbia, it was like kind of a big adjustment for me.
Talking Olympics for a moment, I wanted to get your take on Plushenko and him putting it all on the quad, and as the quad king, what do you think?
Well, as you know, I'm a little bit partial to the quad, but in this instance, I thought Evan clearly was the champion. It is a 4.5-minute program, and I watched several times online. I watched Evgeny's performance and Evan's. And comparing them element for element, it was nowhere close. Yes, Plushenko did a quad, but he did 2 mediocre triple axels, 2 very poor triple lutzes. There was really nothing holding the program together. And what surprised me the most was his lack of sportsmanship, because I knew Plushenko for all those years that we competed together, and he was always gracious and always very polite and respectful of all of his peers. And I was very surprised to see him act so egregiously. I mean, his comments were extremely offensive, and they were in very poor taste. And I've never seen him behave that way, even when there were competitions where he and Yagudin were sort of neck and neck. And, it went to, maybe one went to Yagudin, one went to Plushenko. But I never saw him be a bad sport about any of it. So I was really surprised to see him act that way. I think really was motivated by frustration. Gosh, he didn't skate for 3 years, and then he comes back, gets into amazing shape, and manages to medal at the Olympics. The system has really evolved, so he missed out on 3 years of sort of learning with the system. So, I mean, my hat's off to him for having a great comeback season and doing a really good job. I think because he started off the season so strong and he looked so good at his Grand Prix event, I think it was disappointment. I think he knows that he could have skated both programs better. And to give up an entire year for one competition and to not have it go well, has got to be devastating. I can't imagine how hard that was for him.
Do you miss competing?
I do. I miss competing, and I actually miss training, but not enough to come back. I was watching. I went online to check the results from Worlds, and all I could think about was, I am so glad I'm not doing that anymore.
Do you think we'll ever go beyond the quad?
For single skaters, I say no. I don't think, because even for the people who do quads consistently, I don't think that you can train enough. I don't think you can train a quad for a long enough period of time to work on a quint. I think pairs could. I think because of the extra air time, I think it's possible for a pair, but again, I think, a bunch of the Chinese teams can do throw quads. I think some of them could do it, but actually doing it in competition, I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. I think a Chinese pair team could do a throw quint. I think it's possible, so I challenge them, I dare them to do it, because I think they have the talent that could do that.